Most interior renders don't look fake because of the interior. They look fake because of what's outside the windows. In this video, I'll show you how to replace the background, match the perspective, make it work through the glass, and avoid those bright HDRI edges that instantly ruin the image. Let's fix it. Here, I have the bedroom scene from our brand new Interior Visualization 3.0 course as a base. First, let's copy the image and paste it in Photoshop. I will change the resolution to the final 4K image, which I will render later on. I like to work on a final resolution version in Photoshop to avoid mistakes later on. This way, we have everything set up from the very beginning. We also have to copy the alpha channel so we can remove the HDRI background from the render. Paste it and scale up to the final resolution. Hold Shift and it will automatically snap to the edges of the canvas. Go to Channels, hold Ctrl and click on the RGB channel to select it. Then we can use this selection to mask out the HDRI background. Then I will paste the background image. I generated this background image using one of the AI tools. If you don't need a specific context, this is a perfect way to create a graphic with the exact idea you have. I will place it below the render and adjust its position. To help ourselves with that, in 3ds Max, in the camera settings, we can turn on the horizon line. You can also grab a screenshot of the viewport and use it as a reference in Photoshop. In general, the horizon line of the background photo should match the camera horizon line. It doesn't really matter if the interior is higher or lower above the ground. The horizon line comes from the camera angle. So the safest way is to place the photo horizon on the same level as the camera horizon. In this case, though, I will move it slightly lower so it doesn't interfere with the bathtub. Keep in mind, it's not exactly correct, but I feel it looks a bit better. You can also use Photoshop guides for the horizon line, and then turn off the viewport preview. As you can see, the photo we have is a bit smaller than what we see behind the window, so I will use Photoshop Generative Fill to extend the missing parts. For the areas visible in the view, I will generate smaller parts, below 1000, to get the best quality. Generative Fill is perfect for tasks like that. And for the rest, I can generate everything together, because we won't really see those areas in the final view anyway. Before we move to 3ds Max, if you want to learn the complete workflow of creating professional interior visualizations like this one, check out our new course, Interior Visualizations 3.0, our most complete interior visualization course yet. 10 projects, 30 images. From beginner to pro, learn the full professional workflow and create images you are proud to show. It covers the entire process step by step, from setting up the scene all the way to final post-production. Available for pre-order now. Don't wait and enroll now. The link below this video. Let's bring our background into 3ds Max. Save the image and import it into 3ds Max using Corona Bitmap. Click 8 on your keyboard to turn on the Environment and Effects window, and the M key for the Material Editor. Look for the Corona Bitmap. Choose the saved image and click Open. We have to change the mode from spherical to screen, because this is a standard photo, not an HDRI map. Then we can plug it into the environment. Since we have it plugged into the environment, we can now see it updated in the viewport. Then, in the render settings, we also need to override the HDRI. So here is the full setup. We'll use the HDRI for lighting and reflections, while the background photo will be used for direct visibility and refraction. So simply put, the HDRI is responsible for the light, while the background photo is responsible for the view. Let me show you that in practice. In the render setup, go to Overrides. As we discussed, you have to use Direct Visibility Override and Refraction Override. Before I copy the map here, let me show you why we're doing it this way. Let me move the glass for a moment and start interactive rendering. Because we have glass in the window, the background also needs to be visible through refraction. Here you can see that without the glass, the background looks correct. But when we look through the glass, it turns black. That's because the refraction override is still using a plain color instead of our background map. If I uncheck it, we can see the HDRI again. So let's plug our image into the refraction override as well. Let me undo moving the glass, so the glass is back in the correct place. And then we have to plug it one more time. And that's it. We will actually replace the view in Photoshop anyway, because it will give us better quality. As you can see in the render, the quality is lower than in the original photo. But then in Photoshop, when we remove the HDRI, we get this fringing around the mask. The pixels on the edge of the mask still contain information from the HDRI. They are bright, so they look strange when we place a darker background behind them. This is why we use the background photo in 3ds Max too. Thanks to that, we don't have to worry about this anymore. Once we paste the new image with the correct background and use the same mask, the edge looks much nicer and we don't have this white fringing around the mask. This will still need some work, but at this stage, it's good enough. I would finalize the background later in post-production, once the final visualization, materials and all the details are complete. However, it is important to choose and roughly set up the background already at this stage, because it has a big impact on the color, style and the atmosphere of the image. So we want to establish the background now, but we want to leave the final adjustments at the very end of the production process. If you want to learn the full interior visualization workflow step by step, check out our new 3ds Max Interior Visualization 3.0 course, available for pre-order now. You can also stay here on YouTube and watch more videos like this one. Bye bye!